Hello, hello. This is the one and only 5D Transformations. And I am here and I have a very special message for you. And what this boils down to as we go into the new year, and it's probably already the new year when you watch this. Um, but for 2025, the gift that I want to give you is something that's very, very important. And it boils down to this: you have certain thoughts that come to you from a place of positivity, and you have some thoughts that come to you from a place of anxiety or worry or stress or doubt. And what I want you to understand is that there is a vibration that is attached to your thoughts. There's a vibration that's attached to your feelings. And it's hard, to understand which thoughts should I trust, right? Sometimes you might have a very logical thought, but you feel so negative about it. It might be something that you're concerned about or worried about. And then sometimes you might have a very positive thought, but you might have a hard time trusting that thought because you might think, well, is this just what I'm telling myself to feel better? And things like that. And one thing that we talk about on this channel, especially when I talk about MBTI and introverted thinking, that function, is it's all about trusting your first thought. And so, one thing that I know can be confusing for some people is, well, do I trust every first thought? What if some of my first thoughts are wrong? And I'm here to say this: you have to trust your first thought, but there also has to be a vibration of comfort, of positivity behind that thought, because that's how you know it is a balanced thought. That means that the thought was the first thought that came to you, but it also felt right, which means there's a balance there. And those are the thoughts that are going to drive you in the right direction. Those are the thoughts that are going to give you confidence, belief, and the power to overcome any circumstance. Now, where we get confused, where people deal with anxiety, with concern, worry, stress, is when you have a thought or a first thought or any kind of thought, but it has a negative vibration attached to it. And what I want you to know is there should be no negative vibration attached to your thought, because that lets you know that it's not aligned. And one thing that I want to let you know is we have to begin to understand that our feelings, and this is something that I want you to really pay attention to. This is very deep, and it's something that I learned from a very powerful teacher. Your feelings are a way for you to understand if something is aligned with you. It's a way to understand if something is aligned. And something that is not aligned with you, it's not going to feel good. It's not going to feel right. And a lot of the time, people make actions or move forward off of thoughts that don't feel vibrationally right. But this is what happens when you ignore your feelings. There are a lot of people out there that aren't tapped into their feelings. And so they're always making decisions off of just what they think. But that can guide you in the wrong direction because it's not balanced. What you're looking for is, the thought and the feeling to both feel aligned. And that's how you know you're dealing with truth. Okay. And at the very minimum, that's how you know you're dealing with the truth that is meant for you. Whenever you're operating off of thoughts that are connected with fear, with doubt, with confusion, now you're dealing with a con, because the word confusion, if you look at it, it's con and fuse, a fusion. That means a con has fused into your idea. So there's a con in there. It's not holistic. It's not whole. And so you don't want to be confused, and you shouldn't feel confused when it comes to thinking. It should be very clear, and it should feel very natural, and there's no reason, even in our worst times, for you to feel a vibration of fear and to feel worried, and that's what happens a lot of the time. You might hear information that can scare you. And that's why I'm always wary of stuff like that. When people come up with these conspiracy theories or, oh, the world's going to end tomorrow. I've lived through a lot of those, between Y2K, between 2012, between 2020, like there's always something, oh, the world's going to end tomorrow. And I know that it's not real, and I don't worry about it because there's too much fear associated with it. And I think a lot of people's demise, or a lot of people's greatest struggles, are because they believed in something that someone told them, regardless, because they might have had a certain status, or it could even be a doctor or a lawyer or whatever. and they tell them something and they just believe it because they go, well, this is a doctor, this is a lawyer, or this is that. But they feel so negative about what they're hearing, but they just go with it because they're like, well, that's the person who knows. And there are many people who have gotten into, that who have gone through really tough situations because they bought whatever that person told them under the guise of, oh, that must be what it is, And that's why it's very important that we vibrationally understand the power of feeling and the power of thinking. Everything isn't just logic and everything isn't just feelings. It's about a balance. And so, with that being said, I want you to really focus on continuing to trust your first thought. But whenever you're in a scenario where your first thought, might be something that doesn't vibrationally feel right, you want to reevaluate it. And some people might say, well, hey, so you're saying everything has to feel good? No, everything doesn't have to feel good, but everything should feel aligned. It should feel like it's truth. It should feel like it's balanced. There's times where there's no reason to tell somebody, oh, woe is me. Like, okay, this person's going to die tomorrow. Like, think about how many stories you hear where they say somebody's going to die tomorrow and they live longer than that. Because if we just accept the limitations that people put on us, we wouldn't have been able to come up with all these different breakthroughs. And if you want to live a powerful life and a magical life compared to most of the people around you, you're going to have to tap into this power. Because there may be times where people are telling you you're only capable of this, but you end up showing that you're capable of much more because you're trusting your thought and you're trusting what aligns with you. Because at the end of the day, no matter what anybody tells you, nobody is you. You're the one that's within yourself. You're the one that's you. And you're the one that's always going to have the best perspective on how you feel, on what you think, on what it is, what works with your frequency the best, what you gravitate to. You're the one that's going to know what is best for you. And that's what this channel is about. It's about empowering you to trust yourself more so that you can be more powerful for yourself and for the people around you. All right. So that's my message to you for the 2025. I appreciate you for listening. And make sure to get that MBTI course. It's on the Patreon below. Very powerful course down there. Also got some other stuff in the Patreon if you're interested. I'm very well studied. I put in my 10,000 hours. So, the information I tell you really comes from a place of someone that's utilized it, other people that have utilized it. I've coached hundreds of people and really have helped them get to the next level. And that's why I want to share this information with you. So make sure to like and subscribe so we can keep the information flowing. Make sure to grab one of those courses while it's still at this price. And aside from that, I want to wish you all a powerful, beautiful 2025. And I will see you in the next video. It's the one and only 5D Transformations. And I'll see you soon. Peace.